One of my favorite pieces of writing that I've ever written is published currently in this journal called Passenger's Journal. If you want to go read it, just go to Passenger's Journal and look up my name, and you'll see right there, Paradise Underground. This story first started when I was in Vivi Francis's class at Dartmouth, and I started out as a member of her class and then ended up becoming her teaching assistant and working for her full time in that way. And I just got to audit the class. It was so cool. She's an amazing professor. She was on the choosing committee for the Pulitzer Prize in poetry. She's just an absolute genius. And she had given us this prompt to write a poem around the word elderberry. And so I had this flash of this experience that I had when I was in this club that had Quato House Beach just bumping in the background, and this guy that I had danced with who had told me this very fascinating and harrowing story about his life. And it had always stuck with me, and I had never written about it for some reason. And it just came back to me in that moment of that poem. And then that I think it was that same term or the next term, I took a fiction class with the novelist and memoirist and journalist Alexander Chee. And I love Alex. He's amazing. If you want to read a great book, read I think it's called How to Write an Autobiographical Novel. I might be mixing up one of the words, but it's incredible. His work is awesome. His novel, The Queen of the Night, is also amazing. And I expanded the poem into a kind of essay story hybrid, and it kind of sat there for a while. And then I went to grad school, and I decided to make it one of my submissions for workshops. So I really expanded the story. I had submitted a section of it in my graduate school application. And when I expanded it, I decided I'm going to make this a full-on short story. It ended up becoming 18 pages. I guess that might be teetering into novelette or novella length. But I'm really proud of it because I think it's some of my best writing, and I just think that the story has a really frenetic energy and pace, and has this kind of musicality to it that I worked really hard to do. And I was very fortunate that excerpts of that story were nominated for both the James Hurst Prize in longer fiction and the James Hurst Prize in shorter fiction. And the story was eventually published in Passenger's Journal, and then it was published in the Passenger's Journal anthology, which was select pieces, I believe, from their first 2 years of operation. Let me find that. Looks like that journal is selling on Amazon for $17. I don't get any of that money, but definitely support Passengers. They're an awesome publication. And if you're looking to read some great poetry, they do all sorts of stuff. They do essays, poetry, all sorts of things. You should definitely order this. There's also, I believe, a free audiobook of the piece on Spotify, which was very cool of them. They do a lot of podcasts and all sorts of things. They're amazing. And for those who are interested, I'll read you a tiny excerpt. This isn't the beginning of the piece. This is maybe 2 pages in. So our protagonist has met this man at a nightclub in Cape Town, and they're really vibing, and he's kind of having these flashbacks, kind of a PTSD. His life is sort of flashing before him because he's in the process of mourning his sister as he's having this really central experience. So I'll read it to you. I stare into Mahmoud's eyes and feel like he might be able to take me somewhere, even if just for the night, usher me back into the grand illusion of safety and belonging that I felt once in childhood. Maya used to say that wanting to go back, wanting to remake the past, is like wanting to be famous, a long road headed absolutely nowhere good. Maybe Maya knows new things, that I don't. Maybe she was my sister for a reason. Maybe she's like the ghost we read about in those stories in school, the ominous prophet who warns the main character of the things that are yet to come. But I always thought Maya was the main character of our lives, that I would just be in the background of her story, happily cheering her on. I wasn't prepared for a life without her. I still don't know exactly how to do it. Mahmoud turns me around and I grind against him. He is rubbing his hands all over my body. His fingers are moving through my hair, sending chills down my spine. The first time I heard about the mission was the fall before Maya overdosed. They had brought the kids on stage at Sunday service and showed them off like celebrities. Okay, I'm going to leave you there. Maybe it's a little cliffhanger and you'll go read it. But I'm really proud of this piece. I think it's got some legs. And I wrote a novel around it. I expanded it into a novel for my graduate thesis for my master's. Sorry, I'm picking something out of my eye. And yeah, it's definitely this story is very close to my heart. This narrator, this POV, and yeah, just let me know what you think. If you're interested, let me know.